2020. The only thing is, you're going to be dumb enough to sit up here and blame someone else for Trump's decisions and your vote. Because by the time this comes down the pipeline, it'll be 27, 28. And Frumpy will be getting ready to get out of the office. And the next president will take his place. And that president will be responsible for everything this man has created right now in 2025. I don't want to hear your children don't have an education. They don't have food to eat at school. Free lunches are gone. Nobody wants to hear that there is no hospital in your goddamn town anymore. Because you voted for your hospital to be destroyed. Because you voted to eliminate everything, including Medicaid. And the reason you voted for all of this, because you only thought it was going to affect immigrants and people who were not white. Congratulations, you played yourself.
Hi guys, welcome to yet another video. It's Ndagre here. Thanks for clicking on this video. So as you've seen, this is about the One Big Beautiful Bill Act that Trump and his administration, passed, and it's still kind of being thought through, but it's causing like a lot of issues amongst people. Because I've seen videos where some people are happy about it. They're like, this is what we voted for, and it's like really necessary, because a lot of people have been using the funds and the help that the government has been giving out, and they don't want to work. So maybe it's important that Trump is doing this, and others are like, wait a minute, this is a very despicable kind of act, because it's taking away like help from people that can't access things like health, education, like things that really matter. And what do you mean you're taking away or cutting on the taxes of, let's say, getting guns, but you're increasing or like literally taking away the funds on medicine, on health? Like, make it make sense? It doesn't. So a lot of people are like on different sides of the story when it comes to this bill. Yeah guys, before we get into the video, let me know what you think about this in the comments, and yeah, come back and let's talk about it.
We don't want to hear shit when you lose your Medicaid. We don't want to hear shit when you lose your SNAP. We don't want to hear shit from those states when FEMA doesn't show up for your tornadoes, hurricanes, and floods this year. We don't want to hear shit when you figure out that those tax breaks are not for you, but they're for the rich. We don't want to hear shit when you figure out that no tax on tips and overtime ain't even real. We don't want to hear shit when you figure out that he is increasing the debt ceiling by trillions of dollars, which is going to cost us a lot, because we try to tell you. So you're excited about this bill passing? Just remember, when all that shit happens to you, to not open your mouth.
So they officially passed the Big Beautiful Bill, and it's now going to go into effect. But it's just really dumb to me, because they're going to be cutting Medicaid and SNAP benefits. So what is the point of that? They're also cutting student aid, and then cutting funding from public schools as well. But you know what they're going to do? They're going to take away the tax on gun silencers. They're going to lower the taxes on that, because that's what matters. You know what I mean? It's just crazy that they called it a Big Beautiful Bill, when it quite literally is going to affect a lot of Americans in a negative way, because they receive these benefits, they receive this government assistance because they need it, and that's why they have it. And now all of that shit is being cut. Makes absolutely no sense at all, and it's being cut in order for rich people to get more rich, when the people who are on assistance because they need that. The rich people don't technically need that government assistance. So why the fuck are you getting rid of something that's helping other people in order for you to get richer when you already have a lot of money? You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. And it's called a Big Beautiful Bill, which is ironic because it's ugly as fuck. And it's literally going to cause harm to a lot of people in America. Just, it makes no sense to me at all. This shit is actually so fucking dumb. It's ridiculous. It's actually stupid.
Look, I voted for Trump, and I'll be the first to tell you that I'm not down with this Big Beautiful Bill. And let me tell you why. People say all the time, oh, you Trump supporters are in a cult. No, we're not, because we are not in blind obedience to one individual. We are more than willing and happy to criticize our own, and that is how it should be in the political arena. We see so much in this Big Beautiful Bill that actually is the opposite of much of what we actually voted for. We see a continued increase in spending, unnecessary spending. Not only that, but we also see the increase in encroachment of AI. We see funding of pet projects that we do not agree with, and we are going to raise our voices against it, as any well-educated electorate should do. Elon Musk is right in calling it a disgusting abomination. And I think that the Trump administration needs to realize just how damaging it will be if we wind up passing this bill, continue this trend of wasteful spending, and then wonder why individuals don't show up in the midterms to vote for this continued irresponsibility. The reason people voted for Trump is because we want to see fiscal responsibility, we want to see an end to waste, fraud, and abuse, and we don't want Republicans to say one thing and do another. That's what people on the left are very accustomed to, is their politicians saying one thing and doing another. They're just used to it at this point. They have Stockholm Syndrome. But we demand better, as we should. That's why I myself, and many others like me, do not agree with this big, beautiful bill and want to see it actually redrafted to only include the things that matter to average, everyday Americans.
First, the President of the United States of America said he wanted to get rid of criminals. Okay. Then he said he wanted to get rid of Muslims. Okay. Then he said he wanted to get rid of birthright citizenship. And now he wants to get rid of U.S. citizens. If this does not scream 1930s Germany, I mean, you guys still think this is fear-mongering, or?
So, as somebody that grew up on government assistance and food stamps, I'm not mad at Trump at all for cutting some of the government benefits that they're giving out. Because, y'all, let's not act as if people aren't abusing this. Let's not act as if we ain't got an epidemic of people who just don't want to go to work because they expect the government to take care of them. I saw two people on TikTok the other day arguing, and it was a man and a woman, and the man wanted to go to work. The woman was mad at him, yelling at him, would not let him go to work because of the fact if they found out about his income, she would lose her government-funded housing and she would lose her benefits. And she would not let the man go to work because she didn't want to lose that. And I think that's an issue in America, bro. Like, there's a lot of people that do that. Y'all, if Trump is opening up more jobs, then you should want to get up and go work and not have to depend on the government. The government assistance is a stepping stone to help you get to a point where you can get back on your feet and do for yourself and take care of yourself. That's what it's about. It's not about, oh, well, just sit back and let people who go out and work take care of me so I can live an easy life because I need to live an easy life for whatever reason, bro. All of us have to get up and work. White people, black people, Mexicans, everybody got to get up and work. Nobody is owed anything by the government. Nobody is owed anything by America. Nobody deserves no handouts, bro. I don't want no handouts. So, and Trump didn't cut the government benefits out. Like, y'all are making it seem like he just got rid of it. He just made stricter eligibility requirements. So one of them is you got to work at least 80 hours a month, not a week, a month. That is 20 hours a week, 4 hours a day, Monday through Friday. Bro, if you can't do that, and you expect people who go out and work 50, 60, 80 hours a week to use their tax dollars to take care of you, then you're the issue, bro. And you are the main ones that Trump is targeting to get off of this and get up off of your ass and go do something for yourself. So I'm not mad at it at all, bro. He opening up more jobs, so y'all not have no issue, and y'all can get up and go get off y'all behind and do it.
Republicans are the reason my stress levels rise on the daily. Republicans are the reason why my future gets rocky on the daily. Republicans are the reason why I can't really be close to my family anymore. Republicans are the reason why there's a concentration camp in Florida being built as we speak. Republicans are the reason why hardworking men and women are being ripped from their family. Republicans are the reason why there's secret police now in America at a scale that we haven't seen yet before. Republicans are the reason why every time I try to log on to Twitter, I see something terribly racist. Republicans are the reason why I don't know if I'll be able to have kids one day because I don't know if I'll be financially stable enough to do so. Republicans are the reason why I don't want to live in the South anymore because the policies are so backwards and crazy. Life is kind of terrible. Republicans are the reason why all Republican and red states are on the bottom 25 in most areas. Economically, financially, for quality of life. Republicans are the reason why a bill just passed this morning which will cause your grandparents to die faster. Republicans are the reason I don't like Republicans. There's no propaganda going on. There's no, oh wow, we are brainwashed by the left. No. The reason I don't like Republicans are because of the actions they have done throughout my entire life. I'm a very understanding person. I try my best to not judge someone based on shallow facts. But it would be a lie if I said that when someone tells me they're Republican, my opinion of them instantly drops. There is one person on this earth who I will give some grace, and that is because she is essentially a sister to me. I understand that in the past, there was some reason to be Republican. Economics, I can't think of any other reason, to be honest. Maybe immigration. And I'm not even saying that I don't agree on some platforms, but it gets to a point where you have to view the net consequences of voting for a party and the net consequences of being a Republican are negative. Deeply, deeply negative. The leaders of that party, the members that make the decisions, do not care about their constituents. They do not care that the next generation lives a good life. They do not care. And if you look me in the eyes and you go, I am a Republican, then what you are telling me is that you do not care either. You don't even care about yourself. You only care about the billionaires taking away your money to fuel their own capitalistic war machine.
Well, the Republican Senate just passed Trump's big, beautiful bill today, which has been described as the worst bill in the history of the United States. And it very much appears, as Elon said, they're now casting you into a future of being a debt slave. For many of you, they're throwing your future away, locking in being the first generation in American history that will live a life that is harder than the one that your parents lived. According to experts, it looks like nearly 20 million people are going to lose their health care due to Medicaid cuts, and your health care premiums will rise by $26,000 a year. They're ending food assistance for the poor and have sentenced rural hospitals to death. I mean, you have Democrats proposing an amendment to the bill to make sure that veterans, kids, and the homeless aren't denied food assistance, and Republicans voted against it. They blocked it. So you have critics of the bill out there saying, the air that we breathe, it's going to be smoggy and unbreathable because they're killing renewables and investing in burning coal again. The power blackouts are going to become a more normal affair in America, and you're going to have to pay more for that power as well. And now ICE, who many have said are acting like a secret police, are going to have secret police-like numbers thanks to the bill. Many of you watching are also going to have to pay more in taxes than you did last year, but also, think of the billionaires who get their break in taxes. Or at least that's a positive. And hey, I'll get some pushback now, but in the future, when you're slowly watching your parents die of cancer or Alzheimer's, make sure to thank Republicans and Donald Trump for not only getting rid of breakthrough cures, but also making sure that they had no health care. And on that list of people you can thank Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, who got her state exempt from all of this bullshit in order to vote for it. Right? And that is, her defense for voting for it is that she hopes that the House doesn't pass it. They fucking tricked half the population.
Donald Trump's big, beautiful bill is going to leave Americans big backed and broke. And unfortunately, you won't have health insurance either. So, death is imminent.
As you've seen in the video, that is what people had to say, and like I told you guys.
So the big beautiful bill has been passed, and now the consequences are being felt by Americans. So we are literally seeing Americans right now recording themselves say they wish they can turn back clock and change how they voted. But unfortunately, each election, each vote you cast, there's always consequences. So now you're looking at this big beautiful bill. It's going to affect so many people. The elderly are going to be affected. The people who are living the middle class, lower middle class, and the lower class, depending on the paycheck to paycheck, they're depending on food stamp, they're depending on FEMA, they're depending on SNAP. All of them are going to be affected. Okay, so you'll hear cases where people will be like debating whether to buy grocery or to pay the utilities, and they decide which one is more important than the rest. That's what America is going to face. Some people are going to face, and unfortunately majority are going to face that. Remember the 1%, yeah, that is the millionaires and the billionaires who are getting the budget cuts. Those guys are okay. If you tell them to add $1 extra, even $1,000 in their budget, they won't feel the effect. The only person who's going to feel the effect is that person who's always counting that cents, that person who's counting every dollar that he or she gets. Those are the people who are going to be affected. Those are the people who are going to look at each dollar that comes through their account and decide whether to forego one bill and pay another, so that they're able to continue living their life in America. So that is the reality of what America is facing right now. So there's this big beautiful bill, in one way or another, it's going to affect people. Only time will tell how, and only time will tell whether it is a disaster or it's a win-win for people of America. So let me know what you think about this video. Drop your comments, and of course subscribe to my channel. But remember, each vote that you do, there's always an equal reaction to it, consequences, and this is what they call FAFO season continuing. People are experiencing mass deportation. People are experiencing being torn apart from their loved ones because of this mass deportation. We are looking at farmers who are literally right now, they cannot sell their produce. They're wondering where they're going to sell it because China decided to look for alternative markets elsewhere as a result of tariffs war. We are looking at veterinary assistants who right now they don't have insurance as a result of the budget cuts. We are looking at American citizens or Americans who used to work for USAID, used to work for the federal government. Right now they don't have jobs as a result of the budget cuts, as a result of the mass layoff. So right now we are looking at the ripple effect. So one or another, people are being affected, and this is just the you know, the initial effect you're seeing, but as time goes by we will see how deep these consequences are, because people are so against, you know, voting for someone who is black. They're so anti-blackness, and they decide, you know what, we're going to vote Republican, we're going to vote for this current administration because we are so into whiteness, because whiteness is good, white is good, and of course black is bad. These are the consequences. Like they say, karma is a bitch, and each action you take, there's always an equal reaction to it. Let me know what you think about this video. Drop your comments and please subscribe to my channel.